Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at two new little kits here from the same designer as the Nachin tank. This is the Adventure and the Incree. Fun little kits. In this case, these kits are produced by Alphamax now. And in this review, I also have an extra set of them that I want to give away to one of you guys. So make sure you stay tuned in the review. Later on, I'll let you know how you can enter to win a set of these for yourself. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the review. Alright guys, so we'll start off taking a look at the box and the contents for both of these kits here. You got some really cool imagery on the front, just kind of digital design there with some space background and photographs of the painted kits here on the front of the box. They're not numbered, so I'm just going to go alphabetical, with this one being the Adventure model in the New Continent Machines line. So like I said, there's a photograph of the kit. One thing that is a little bit disappointing about the design of the kits, I know, is that they got a massive seam line right down the middle, and you can even see it on the painted sample on the front of the box, which makes me think that it's going to be a pretty rough one. But that's right, this is a collaboration between our friend Moy, the designer of the Nachin tanks, and Alphamax, which you may know for other different model kits. It's a little bit different from this, but it's a relatively small model kit production company there. So here on the side of the box, we have one of Moy's actual illustrations here. Very cool illustration of the mecha there from Moy-san. The top and the bottom of the box basically going to have the same stuff there. On the other side, just the opposite image here on the back. We got some cool stuff here, including the story, which is just all in Japanese, machine description there also in Japanese, a couple images of the kit, a combination of the two kits there, which I didn't know that you could do, and then here's a look at a sample of an unpainted version of the kit, and as you can see, it's pretty basic. I mean, you can tell by just the fact that it's a pretty small box here, there's not going to be a whole lot inside. It's all going to be molded in one color. We'll take a look at the runners in just a moment, but aside from the runners, all we have here is just a very simple instruction manual. Again, this just features a photograph of the painted kit there at the top, a couple of smaller photographs there at the bottom, on the back side parts list, and a color guide there. Just on the inside, it's all in color, but there's our assembly. Again, pretty short, pretty simple, easy. Looks like we are going to have an included little stand for that. That's pretty cool. We've got 4 small runners here in total, and like I said, they're all in this kind of danger yellow kind of color. Here is the A runner, next the B runner, and you can see how the parts of the stand are molded there at like the top of the runner. It's kind of interesting here on the C runner as well, and then lastly the D runner. Although the kit's gonna be pretty simple and basic, I mean, you can see there's some nice detail around on some of these parts, so it should look pretty good once it's all painted up and everything. Let's also then go ahead and take a look at the Incree. I'm not really sure what that is, what that means, but it's a little bit different design. You can see it's got a different gun, kind of different backpack. This one seems to be more of like a heavy artillery kind of version of that. Here's the illustration on the side. Again, very cool. If you guys aren't following Mui on Twitter, I would highly recommend it. He does really cool artwork. But on the back side here, once again, we have a little bit about this story, what the kit is going to look like unpainted, and then some different images of the kit there, and also the combined form. So we'll take a look at that once, of course, everything's all built up. Inside, it's going to be mostly the same contents here, of course, just in a different color. In the front of the manual, there's a look at the painted sample of the kit. On the inside, here's all of our construction, and on the back side, the parts list and color guide. All the runners are going to be here in this kind of pale navy blue color. It looks quite nice. Here's runner A. Runner B for some more of our weapons parts in there. The B runner is definitely different from the other kit, from the Adventurer kit. Here's runner C, also slightly different there, and runner D for all of our parts. That's it. Alright, after a very quick build, here is the Adventure unit all built up. As you can see, of course, it's just all one color. Gonna be a lot of work that's gonna be required on this one for seam line removal and just like mold line removal, cleanup work. If you're planning on doing like a full, nice, clean paint job on this, I think you've got your work cut out for you. But it's a really cool design, definitely very interesting, very unique here from Moy-san. The most notable seam line obviously going to be the one that's going right down the middle of the head and then right down the middle of the torso, but you do have a couple of those seam lines here in common areas like the top of the shoulders there, and down here on like the lower part of the leg right there. And just a quick note about the articulations, take a look at that. Head doesn't really go up and down, but you can turn that a little bit side to side, not too bad. The arm can move up and down, just be careful extending that up because you're just going to pull that right out of the socket, but it does move up and down a little bit, and then rotate there. The articulation is going to be pretty basic. The shield, since it's just coming off of my hand there, we'll take a quick look at that. Just plugs right here onto the arm. You could plug it onto the other arm, or if you had 2 of the kit, you could plug one shield onto each arm, but as you can see, it's not symmetrical, so it'll look kind of weird, I think, plugged onto this side of the arm there. There's no joint in the upper arm. Basically, you just have a ball joint between the top half of the arm and the bottom half. And that's really all you're going to have. So you can rotate that and kind of move it around a little bit, but not really going to have a whole lot of elbow articulation there. The wrist is also going to be fixed pose, and you can see for the left side we just have a closed fist hand. For the right side we have this weapon holding hand, and the weapon does look very cool. I gotta say, how that's plugged into the hand. It's basically just a, well, it just came out there. It's just a small peg between like the fingers, so the fingers don't even like wrap around the handle, it's just kind of plugged onto this part. But if you did want to have a closed fist on each side, you do have an option part for that. You can just do like so. Going down here to the legs, the hip joint is the kind where you can change the angle and also rotate the entire joint like that, but it's very difficult to do this rotation part of that, so I would recommend putting this in the pose that you want like this first, and then plugging the leg onto here. Once you do that, you can then of course move the leg in and out and then just rotate the leg. You do have some knee bend there, a little bit, not even like 90 degrees, but a little bit of a bend there. And the foot is just attached via a small ball joint, but the shape of that should make it able to stand very easily up underneath the feet. You can see you do have some hollow gaps there on the back side. Nothing moves here, you just have that just kind of big backpack part. And the only other real accessory we have here is just the stand. So of course you have a multiple points for articulation here for that. This is going to plug in right up underneath the kind of gut, actually, like up underneath there like that for doing action poses up in the air, and that should be pretty cool. Let's also go ahead then and take a look at the Incree. Now, I don't know why I was thinking, I guess I just didn't really look that closely at the designs, why I thought that they were kind of mostly a color swap with a few different parts here and there, as they're completely different kits actually. So the kits are entirely different. They don't share any of the same parts. Even you might think like, okay, maybe the hands are the same, but nope, nothing's the same about the two kits. And I gotta say, between the two, design-wise, I think this is the one that I prefer, but let me know which one you guys prefer in the comments down below. Taking a close-up look at the Incree here, for the accessories, you have basically the same thing. You have an option part for making a closed fist for the right side, and then the stand. But one other thing that you do have with this one is the addition of these two little connector pieces. Now I can just assume that these are for creating like the combination, or how you can combine the two mechs together. Although in the instructions it doesn't show you anywhere how to do that. So in order to do that, I think we're just going to have to just go off of the image that we have on the back of the box. So I'll attempt that here in a minute. The articulation of this is going to be similar, but instead of being able to rotate the head, because you kind of can't, you can actually move it up and down a little bit, so a little bit kind of difference with that. One you could rotate and the other one you can't. One you can move up and down, the other one you can't. These cannons up here over the shoulder can move a little bit up and down. They don't have any holes in there, so you definitely want to grab a drill and just drill some holes into that, just make that look a little bit more convincing. Same goes for the gun barrels too, on that note, for both of the kits. With this one being a lot more bulky, you're going to have even less articulation, less room for articulation here in the arms. You're basically going to be able to rotate that up and down, and that's kind of gonna be about it. The difference with the shield in this case, whereas with the Adventure, the shield is just one piece, this one is actually two pieces just sandwiched together, so the shield's got a little bit extra thickness to it. And this one is meant to plug specifically only onto this side. You can't plug anything onto this other arm here, but you can see just the difference in like the arm and hands designs there. And also the leg designs. This one just has just like the small like non-feet with just this little peg out the back, and that's basically just there to help him stand. You do have a little bit of a knee bend once again, but again, it's not going to be all that much. Definitely more than with the Adventure, but it's just kind of a little bit awkward to get to. And the hip joint is different in this case too, as it's just a ball and socket joint, so that just pops right into there, and so you can rotate the leg forward and back like that. Rotate it back, I gotta say, it does look a bit weird because it makes it a big hollow gap right there, so I think it definitely looks best just keeping the leg up and forward like so. But the backpack is pretty cool. Around here you have this kind of section up at the top. I'm not really sure exactly what that is, but it does look very interesting. But anyway guys, there you have it, some very simple kits, but very unique, something very different from what we kind of normally typically see from Bandai and Kotobukiya, things like that. So number one, I love the fact that we're getting kits made based off of just like an artist's work, which is very cool. So it was really cool to see the different versions of the Nachin tank that we've seen now from Moi's illustration work, and now to see these is very cool. So it just makes me hopeful that we'll see more stuff like this in the future. As far as just like the quality of these kits, I mean, like they're not, I mean, don't expect too much. I mean, like they're very simple, very small, and like I said, if you're planning on painting the kits, you've got a lot of work cut out for you just for doing all like the seam line removal, all the cleanup work and everything. It's going to take some time, but they're really cool, just interesting, different designs. And if that's what you're looking for, I think there's definitely worth, you know, paying the few bucks to pick up 1 or 2 of these. But if you want to win a set for free from me as for the giveaway, as for the set that I want to give away to you guys, all I'm going to ask you guys to do is simply like the video, subscribe naturally, and then also leave a comment down below and let me know your favorite non-Gundam mecha. So it could be, you know, one of these, it could be a Machining Krieger suit, it could be one of like the frame arms designs, it could be something from like Gao Gaigar or some like super robot, whatever it might be. Let me know down in the comments below what's your favorite non-Gundam mecha, and then later on I'll go ahead and choose one of the winners just at random. But that's gonna be it for this review, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Hope it was interesting to see something, you know, kind of something different. I believe we are planning on getting these kits at USA Gundam Store, although we don't have them quite yet at the moment of recording this review. If you don't end up winning the giveaway and you want to pick up a set for yourself, just make sure you're signed up for the USA Gundam Store newsletter email that goes out, and then you'll be notified once we get these in stock later on. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the video. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that's greatly appreciated. Until next time, hope y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.